Hello.
Hi.
Hi guys. Welcome to another from Retro to Right Now. We are Justin and Penelope.
Yeah, I'm Penelope.
Okay. From Farpoint Toys. We're 2/3 of Farpoint Toys.
Did you think I was Frank? Did you forget?
Someday you will all get to meet the third.
The third, yes.
When
33
when we get inoculations or when COVID is finally over and we're not in fear for our lives.
Yes.
There might be 3 of us sitting here.
That would be nice. One day.
It'll be fun.
One day soon.
It might be a train wreck too.
It'll be a train wreck mostly, but it'll be fun. You'll never hear my voice again once Frank is here.
Welcome to our VIP members who are getting to watch this live.
Yes. Hi guys.
You guys get to interact, ask questions, and basically be part of this review. Today we will be reviewing the 2011 G.I. Joe Transformers San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
How beautiful is that box? But I gotta be honest, this is the second week in a row we've done G.I. Joe, which is Justin's forte. I've kind of just been his Vanna White over here running the show. So I don't know as much about this stuff as he does, but I do know that is some beautiful box art.
Andrew said his fun fact finger is ready, which is phenomenal.
Andrew, you are the perfect person for this.
Well, and Mark is here as well. So and
Dave.
and Tiffany.
Tiffany's
so it's great.
Here. Lots of people.
But
are
I know. But
awesome.
Andrew is a real Transformers guy.
Andrew is he's like pop-up video. If pop-up video were
fantastic.
a human.
It's perfect.
So I'm really glad.
So hopefully this will eventually be uploaded to
YouTube.
YouTube, where the general public gets to.
Eventually, it'll be tonight.
Tonight it will get uploaded to YouTube. Yeah. Will they be able to see the comments on YouTube? So
they won't see the comments, which is why it's important for us to read the comments out loud and attribute them correctly.
Yep.
There's no seeing the comments on YouTube.
You're going to have to do me a favor.
Yes.
You're going to have to make that a little bit bigger so I can read it.
That's funny. I asked you if it was big enough and you lied and said yes.
I have to concentrate too hard to read it.
There you go. How's that?
My bad eyes. That's good.
All right.
Yes.
Who else is here?
So Mark, all these, there are 4 different versions that Hasbro did of these G.I. Joe Transformers crossover exclusives. Little history about G.I. Joe and Transformers crossover. They first did it in the comic books, I believe, in like 1987. There was a 4-issue miniseries, and I'll never forget it. Listen, there was the height of both of those properties, G.I. Joe and Transformers. The fact that Hasbro thought to cross them over was genius. The cover of number 1 is actually Bumblebee being blown up by G.I. Joes. And
they go together really well. You've got a lot of 80s properties, a lot of properties in general. You've got the obvious good guys, the obvious bad guys. The G.I. Joe, Autobots, Decepticons, Cobra, it just meshes really, really well. So it was brilliant on their part to do all of that. Who else is here? Let's stop for a second and just say hi to our VIPs. Now, keep in mind, guys, you are seeing this on YouTube, and if you're not a VIP, you can be. I'm actually going to throw that logo right up there, patreon.com/FarpointToys. You can be part of the live studio audience whenever we do this. We have Tara. Hi, Tara. Alex is here as a pretty face. He said, so am I.
Always a pretty face.
Mark's here. Tiffany. Andrew, as we said. Dave is here. This is awesome.
I hope you guys realize that your names are in the credits of these. This is our second of the new version of From Retro to Right Now.
We keep reinventing ourselves, which is awesome. But,
so, a little more about the history of... So it's... The G.I. Joe Transformers comic idea has been redone multiple times. First Marvel did it, and then, Marvel ended the G.I. Joe comic run at like 155, and Transformers, I think, at 88. And then Image did it in like 2003. I have a cheat sheet note right here.
What?
Devil's Due did 4 issues in 2004. And then recently... Tom Scioli and Barber, I forget the guy's first name.
John, I think.
They did a 13 issue plus a one shot of the movie that really turned the whole thing on its head because Scioli was very influenced by Jack Kirby and 60s Silver Age.
We actually had Tom Scioli out at the shop right after we did our G.I. Joe versus Transformers diorama. And his art...
IDW actually...
Yeah, IDW sponsored the diorama, which was really cool. At the time. Tom is an awesome dude. His art is very unique. And like Justin said, very Kirby, very like space.
Yeah, very Kirby Crackle. Cool. He's super influenced by Kirby. So we are obviously huge fans of the crossover of these two things. G.I. Joe has always been my thing. But then when we had the chance to do I've always loved the idea of G.I. Joe 3 3/4, 1/18 scale Transformers. I've always loved the idea. And they did it here. Not that Starscream is true 1/18 scale, but Starscream is a Sky Striker mold. They took whatever the modern Sky Striker was, and we're going to talk about the modern Sky Striker is what Starscream is here, and it comes with a whole sticker sheet. I'm going to open this up and show you guys. But it's based on, and let me take this out of here for now.
So Andrew said there was another Marvel attempt in the 90s with the G2 comics. Ninja Force Scarlet fights Rat Bat. Why did they pick Rat Bat?
Why did they? Well, Ninja Force was really hot right then, and I want to mention this. I don't think this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I think this was a Collectors Club exclusive, but it actually is Ninja Force.
Is Rat Bat in there?
Transformers crossover. I've never opened it.
George Scully is here. Jaw-dropping diorama, by the way. Thank you, George. Mark has to find the pictures of the dioramas that we did.
So while I'm not going to get into, we're not going to talk about every single one. We'll do an individual review as time goes on. You know, it's too much to get into. What I'm going to do is we're going to go through the 2011, the first set, and I'm going to compare what's in that set with what inspired it. So the original toy compared to the toy that's in the set. For instance, originally, this is an original Sky Striker mold. I didn't complete it. All the parts are, you know, in a box somewhere, and I just didn't feel like digging. Maybe I shouldn't have been lazy, I don't know. But this is the original Sky Striker toy.
It's fine.
I believe 1983, I want to say. I got it Christmas 83, I think.
Do you need me to actually Google it? Because I think I can do that.
I think I'm right, but you can.
All right.
One of the coolest G.I. Joe vehicles ever, if you ask me. They're still seeing the screen of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Came with 2 parachutes, which I always lost in the trees or blew away.
83.
Yeah, 83.
Absolutely.
So, what they did is, when the G.I. Joe Modern Era came out, in 2007 was the 25th anniversary, relaunched the Modern Era G.I. Joe. And they started pulling out old molds. And I guess they still had the Sky Striker mold, thankfully.
Andrew said, fun Rat Bat fact, Rat Bat is a much more important character in the Marvel Comics, even leading his own faction of Decepticons at the time. Simon Furman just liked him.
In the G1 Marvel run, huh? I've never read it. I looked at the covers, but I liked Transformers to be in my G.I. Joe universe, but I never read the Transformer comics, and I probably should. So they reused the original Sky Striker mold and made modern version of the Sky Striker.
So it's the original mold.
It's the original mold, but there's some updates. The plastic is different.
Of course. Better, hopefully. I'm going to move this out of your way.
Yes. The cool thing is, and I didn't assemble this yet. This is brand new in the box.
Look at you, sticker sheets.
The sticker sheet that comes with...
Ooh, that is beautiful. Look at that.
You can choose different factions and different colors to put on your Starscream.
That is so cool.
Which is phenomenal. It's so cool.
Let me see that.
Yep.
Oh, it's got
see all the different factions here.
Cobra
Yeah, it has the Decepticon Cobra crossover logo. We love this logo so much. There's actually a vinyl sticker of it on the floor in the front room.
Wow, that is so cool.
And what are these factions here? Can you read any of those?
I can, even though I have my contacts on. Decepticon Air Force, Starscream Ghost Attack, Decepticon Air Forces, Jettron Air Forces, Waspinator, Decepticon Air Forces, Kremzeek Attack.
So some of these references
guy, right?
I don't get. Andrew probably does.
And, so forgive me if I'm wrong, there's the rub stickers.
Yes.
I don't know if they actually, this one doesn't look like it actually rubs, but there is like a faux rub down there.
For that G1 look.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So there's different factions that you can... So this is one of the reasons I didn't put the stickers on it, because I don't know what faction to choose.
So Mark just said the outside mold is the original mold, but for cost effectiveness, they retooled the internals of the Sky Striker.
That is 100% correct. There's only one... The things that come to mind immediately is, instead of 2 seats, I believe there's only 1 seat.
What? How do you... Hold on, stop. You gotta have a pilot and a gunner, right?
A Rio.
A who?
That's what Goose was. So this is based on an F-14.
His name is Rio.
So yeah, this is a single-seater.
What does Rio stand for?
Radio Intelligence Officer?
So he's not shooting?
No. He just he handles radars and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
Shows what I know. I'm just gonna shut up.
So Jetron's
reference to the
Seekers. That's cool.
Yeah, Andrew, that makes sense.
So the cockpit compared, it's about the same size, but the modern era figures were a little bit bigger than the 3 3/4 figures. The original G.I. Joes are 3 3/4. Modern era is about 4 inch. So there's only enough space for one guy in the cockpit. And the cockpit has a lot more detail. I mean, they really went into it, making it look more, instead of just it's very plain, the original Sky Striker cockpit.
Andrew also said Waspinator was possessed by Starscream's ghost in Beast Wars.
Oh, that's right. In the 90s Beast Wars cartoon.
That explains why there's... Yeah.
So that's a Beast Wars reference, which is super cool. But then they did things like the cockpit color is the orange, like Starscream. The blue tail fins. Now what we're going to do is go to camera 2.
Camera 1, camera 2. There you go.
That's the original Starscream that this Sky Striker is based on. You can see he has a blue tail fin. The colors are the same. He's this kind of gray with the red stripe. Go back to camera 1. This is the fuselage. And you can see the colors about the same with the red stripe. I'd love to put all the decals on this. I have nowhere to display it right now.
That sticker sheet is so pretty.
It's awesome.
Krimzeek is a little electric ghost thing that shocks and possesses Transformers and says its name over and over, says Andrew. I think he came with a Megatron. Is he like a little blue guy? I remember him coming
with a Noid. The missiles are almost the same as the original Sky Striker missile molds. So, for all intents and purposes, it's a modern era Sky Striker in Starscream colors.
Mark said it was too much money to cast separate seats. They were purposely planning on making multiple re-releases, which is why they greenlit this size vehicle.
Yep. And they did do multiple re-releases. Not so much in just the plain old G.I. Joe line. I think they only did one in the Pursuit of Cobra, I want to say, was when it came out with Captain Ace. But they've reused it many times in exclusive sets. This being probably the first. They went on to use the same mold as Jetfire in this set. We'll get to this set as a review. This is Jetfire and Hound. They went on to reuse the mold for the Cobra Scythe, which was another SDCC set, but had nothing to do with Transformers.
So it's a good mold that they got a lot of use out of.
Absolutely, but a lot of use in exclusive sets. So it's kind of sought after. They did some really interesting things with it. The Scythe, for one. Maybe one day I'll do a Sky Striker, all Sky Striker review, because the Scythe is amazing. It has a Cobra symbol on it. It's like the Cobra version. It's pretty cool.
I'm in.
So, who pilots the Starscream Sky Striker?
So can he fly himself because he's sentient?
Yeah.
Does he need a pilot?
No.
So
he probably doesn't want a dirty human pilot inside of him.
Yeah, that's kind of gross if you think about it.
Yeah, they have. So they make hologram humans if they really want to be undercover.
Oh, so they pretend that they have a human in them.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. Would you like me to go to camera 2?
Yeah, camera 2. So, what you have here is the pilot Cobra Commander that came with this set. Obviously, he's the taller one, the updated mold. He's in a pilot suit.
Yeah.
I
really dig the pilot outfit he's wearing.
It's referred to as Cobra Commander version 47. I mean, that's not really official. That's just from like the Yo-Joe site.
Well, they don't really have... Hasbro didn't release them and say this is V2.
No.
That just
but a lot of collectors know them because they've...
Yeah.
You know, out of all the figures they've done, I think, Cobra Commanders and Storm Shadows. So, to tell them apart, or, you know, when you're looking for them online, you have to look for the version oftentimes. And this is kind of referred to as version 47.
Would you like your coffee back?
Yes. So, what he's next to is, you'll recognize, the swivel arm version from 1983.
I have paint all over my hands.
Originally they were straight arms in 1982, and then in 1983 they came out with the swivel. That's a swivel arm Cobra Commander. And you could see what I was saying about the height difference. You know, this guy's only about 3 3/4.
Yeah, modern male figures are closer to 4 inches almost.
Yeah, well, they're like true 118 now.
Yeah.
And you could see what's in Cobra Commander's hand is...
Can you get a good shot of that? Can you guys see that? Look who it is.
An amazing 1/18 scale Megatron, which is a Walther P-38.
Very cool. Super
cool. It's something I didn't know I wanted until I saw it, and I was like, oh my god. So Megatron can, and Andrew could probably explain it, magically make himself go from a giant robot to a gun small enough to fit into a human's hand.
So he can change his mass. All right, Andrew has a fun fact. When Skywarp was working with Joes in a tenuous alliance, this is during the IDW canon, he actively refused letting any of the Joes ride inside of him on missions. Rock and Roll was upset about that as he tried to befriend Skywarp throughout the series. Nice.
Why did he want to befriend Skywarp so bad?
Why would he want to get inside of Skywarp so bad?
Skywarp is
That's really my question. That's my question. Should I go back to camera 1?
No, let's talk about these guys for a second.
Okay.
The set was smart enough. One of the cool things about G.I. Joes is file cards. So obviously this is the original Cobra Commander file card.
That's an interesting point. Dave just said, didn't the same voice actor voice both?
We're going to get to Chris Latta or Chris Collins.
So technically he was flying with himself.
I learned something today. I always called him Chris Latta. But when I look him up on Wikipedia, his name is Chris. He was born Chris Latta. And I believe he was credited in the cartoons as Chris Latta, but he refers to himself as Chris Collins for some reason.
Oh.
So,
hey, you're allowed to change your name.
Chris Latta voiced Cobra Commander as well as Starscream.
I was once.
So this set is basically, you can go back to camera 1. You could take Frank Welker into account, obviously, but this set is like the two main characters in this set, and I know
voiced by the same
guy. This is like the Chris Latta exclusive.
That's interesting about the name change. I wonder what the
I didn't know. Yeah, I looked him up. I was just looking to see what else he was in. He's in a lot of stuff. We'll talk about him for
a lot
for
of
a second.
stuff. Funny. Mark said that Marvel's explanation is that the extra mass is displaced into a dimensional void.
Fair enough.
And so it's like a bag of holding. They just sort of transform.
It's also where Optimus's trail goes.
Makes sense. Yeah, sure.
Sure, a bag of holding. Listen, it's giant Transformers. It's giant robots. Sentient.
It's a comic book. It's a cartoon. It's fine. It's fine.
So let's go from Cobra Commander's 1/18 scale Megatron.
Am I going to camera 2?
Yes.
Okay. Going to camera 2 is the good words there.
So you got Cobra Commander holding.
God, he looks so cool.
And the original version of that.
Ooh. Does not even fit on frame.
Is that. That's G1 Megatron. That's a Walther P-38. All dressed up. Basically, it was like dressed up from... what was the show? Get Smart. Not Get Smart. It was a British show. Man from Uncle? Yeah, maybe Man from Uncle. That's it, yeah.
The Man from Uncle?
It has an extra hilt and a scope and a long barrel. But that's the G1 Megatron. And that's the same gun that Cobra Commander's holding.
Not buying one of these in a Toys R Us or any other toy store today, that's for sure.
No, this actually suffered from that. Megatron came out right around the time that the whole, kids not having realistic toy guns thing happened. So later versions of Megatron actually had orange tips on the end of their guns.
Was it in addition to? Was it this exact version that had an orange tip?
Yep.
Where was the tip? Was the
underneath
front
the black?
Part, so the front part was still there as it is now.
1.
It just happened to have another orange piece on top of it.
So yeah, later versions.
Do not break it live on camera.
That'd be funny.
No, not.
Something like that's going to happen eventually. I mean, it's just the law.
Please no.
So later versions, I believe this was orange.
Okay, but you put all that stuff on it and it's black.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, but that stuff doesn't look very realistic. But once you break this dude down,
yeah.
I mean, you could.
You're robbing a bank with that.
You could rob a Walmart with this.
Yeah, it's Walmart.
Yeah, for Cobra classified figures. Target. Give me all your Cobra Vipers. What a beautiful toy. Dude, it's funny when you transform him. He's so rink-a-dink.
I like the size of this. If I was ever going to own a gun, I would want one that was about this size.
Okay, we'll get you a Walther.
I'm good.
So
that is too cool.
Chris Latta. Let's talk about Chris Latta for a second.
Yeah, let's.
I want to talk about his filmography.
So, interestingly enough, it looks like Andrew has some more to say.
Please.
Fun Chris Latta Collins fact. Dope TF customizer Geocaser
Geocaser?
actually did an amazing custom of MP Starscream with a Cobra Commander Headmaster and Decomposed from Inhumanoids Pretender Shell. The thing is gorgeous, and there's a.
So that's a great crossover.
I'll put the link in the YouTube comments so
Awesome.
you guys can see.
Chris Latta also did Decompose in Inhumanoids. It's one of the voices.
So it's like
he
a
did.
set.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole Chris Latta set there.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mean, obviously we know him as Cobra Commander. He also did Breaker and Stealer in the G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay.
Starscream, but he also did Wheeljack, Sparkplug,
So tons of voices.
Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, Reflector. I think there was like 3 dudes that did all the voices.
I mean, I believe it.
He was in Bigfoot, the Muscle Machines. Inhumanoids, obviously, Decompose and Tendril. And then, funnily enough...
Cobra Commander, Gung Ho, and Ripper.
Yep, funnily enough...
Real Ghostbusters? Wow, this guy did
Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, wow. It's funny. I mean, Mark just said it's TNG physics when they disappear into another dimension.
Well, there you go.
He was also on TNG, Mr. Belvedere. Roadhouse? He was in Roadhouse?
He was Mr. Burns and
oh my God.
Mo Sislak.
In Roadhouse, he was the sharing husband. You guys remember that
who
scene?
let the wife go dance or whatever.
That's kind of gross.
Weird.
He was also Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Wow.
He died young. 44 years old.
Wow. And
Yep.
my PD Blue. Holy cow.
Brain aneurysm.
Wow.
So...
Well, rip Chris Collins. That sucks. Wow. Way to bring it down,
He was also from New Jersey.
Oh. Okay.
How about that?
That's cool.
So it's cool to talk about him for this set because the 2 main characters of the set are voiced by him famously. I mean, if you listen to the 2 voices, you know.
Is it obvious it's the same guy
Oh
doing
my
both
God.
voices?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes. I think Starscream's a little more shrill. But yeah, man, it's obvious they're the same.
Wow. And Gem. Huh, cool. Mark, thanks for the tidbit.
So what's also cool is camera 2. Talk about file cards. The set comes with file cards. You know, the description of Starscream, the description of Megatron. File cards are a big thing. It's something that Star Wars didn't offer on their toys. That G.I. Joe,
yeah.
you know, Larry Hama wrote all these file cards just as references for himself for writing the characters. But because the G.I. Joes didn't get launched in 81, they had to wait till 82 because they didn't want to compete with Empire Strikes Back figures. All of the material he wrote for those, you know, for reference for himself, ended up becoming file cards that went on the back of the figure.
That's so cool.
Yep. So, Bigfoot.
Back to camera 1.
Yep.
Mark said yes, Bigfoot was in the cartoon segment with Inhumanoids and Gem.
Oh, I didn't know they were packaged as a segment. Was it? I didn't remember that.
No clue.
So this set.
Not gonna lie, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that one.
The art's amazing.
Dude, the butts are on all the stuff is so
it's
cool.
It's very reminiscent of the art from the 80s Marvel run.
And exactly. It looks like a comic book. It's got the price in the corner and all of that stuff. It's really cool.
But it's not art from the comic. It's original art.
No, it's really nice. I like it.
G.I. Joe Transformers together in one vehicle. And it's all scaled Comic-Con International.
SDCC exclusive. Very, very cool.
And then,
Spark Chamber.
Yeah, it's funny.
It has figure, retractable
it has a
gear.
bunch of information about Starscream on the back. But it has like breakaway art where it shows underneath the fuselage.
Really
cool. The
toy
doesn't do that.
That's really neat.
So it's just kind of giving you a little bit of information.
Yeah, Andrew said that the cartoon segment is like a launch variety show. Only Jim went on to have its own series. Weird. Cool.
And then also these there's reference to the G.I. Joe and Transformers Collectors Club. So they were really trying to bring the 2 clubs together. Because at one point, you know, the G.I. Joe and the Transformers Collectors Club were doing... Every year they would do a con and exclusives. Well, since the G.I. Joe's Collectors Club has gone the way of the dodo, Hasbro has rebought
Hasbro got all the rights back to their conventions, and now they're doing HasCon. I'm pretty sure they got all of their fan clubs. Although I'm not sure about the My Little Pony fan club. That might still be a thing. But I know that that the Pony Convention is now part of HasCon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the Transformers Club. I know the G.I. Joe Club is gone. Yeah, the boxes, just for the art alone to display these boxes is phenomenal. Nice. It was like a launch variety show.
I already read it. You're good. Want me to go back to camera 2?
Yeah. let's look at Cobra Commanders again.
All right. How pretty are they?
So, one thing they did, Cobra Commander's helmet comes off for this version.
I was going to say what's under it, but it's just
Chrome Dome.
more chrome.
They call him Chrome Dome for a reason. And if you want to get a better shot of the Megatron, I'm going to try and hold it still.
If you'd like me, I could actually zoom in a bit.
Let me get it on a better background.
If you guys don't mind looking at my paint hands.
Yeah, we're working. That's why I didn't have time to pull all the pieces out for the Sky Striker.
Yeah, we have actually been painting and doing all kinds of construction. You guys know we are still closed after the fire we had in June. Still doing renovations, and I'm covered in red paint. Literally every part of my body.
So...
Too cool. I love that.
So there are... Camera 1. There are 4 of these sets. What's funny is that, the last set's called The Epic Conclusion. I don't think that there were comics in here to actually tell a story.
That would
So
be
the
nice,
second
though.
set
That would be really
is
cool.
Shockwave as a his tank and one of my favorite
I don't know if they can see
crossover
that.
figures. I can't wait to do a review of this. They did Cobra Battle Android Troopers in Constructicon colors.
Really cool. Really cool.
I want to army build them, but they're very expensive.
Really, really cool.
You need at least one. So, I don't know if you guys didn't know this. Because I love the crossover of G.I. Joe Transformers so much, we built a true to G.I. Joe scale Devastator a few years ago.
He's my height, a little bit taller, actually.
Yeah. Using Tonka trucks and PVC and spit and polish.
And a mannequin head and like creepy little jointed hands. Mark was just talking again about that variety show. Each cartoon was only 10 or 15 minutes in length. Due to popularity, Jim and Inhumanoids both got their own shows.
Huh.
Neat. So almost like a Garfield and Friends or like My Little Pony and Friends, sort of like couple episodes in 1.5 hour. That's cool.
I'm going to put the Sky Striker in the middle here.
Oh.
I don't know if it'll fit.
I think it'll just fit if you're very careful.
Very careful is not my forte.
No, I know. That's why I'm... There we go. All right. Look at you. Mark said we still have some of it. We have quite a bit of the old diorama stuff.
Have all the parts and pieces, just not the actual base
in the
anymore.
garage. That giant base was custom fit to fit inside that window, and then when we moved the store, it was retrofitted to fit the new window there at the new location. And obviously, no windows here, so it got decommissioned and put out in the garage.
We will do it.
Have no fear. We're definitely having another diorama.
So, in conclusion, this set comes with, other than the amazing art, it comes with
It looks great there in the middle there. It's fucking cool.
a Starscream version of a Sky Striker. A sticker placement and assembly sheet. Huge sticker sheet, which is insane because you can choose different factions.
Love it.
It
It's
makes
so
my
cool.
OCD crazy because I want to have one with each faction.
You can't, though, obviously.
Well,
what are you
if
going
you
to do, stick them all on there?
If you spend a bunch of money, you can have a bunch of different...
Oh, you want to have one of each? Oh, man. Okay,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. So this is it on this unassembled. Once it's assembled, it resembles an original Sky Striker, but not exactly. It's a little more detailed, but only fits one figure. And
So, answer me a question. Just like in Top Gun, for example, we have the names of the pilots here on the side. Who is Captain J. Brad Armbruster and Lieutenant Wayne Ruthell?
so, you're putting me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
Well, Brad Armbruster is Ace. He came with the Sky
That
Striker.
makes sense. Okay.
What was the other name?
Wayne Ruthell. I didn't realize I was putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
All right, Wayne. That's got to be a G.I. Joe from either 82 or 83, because that's when the Sky Striker came out. Wow.
While you're thinking about that, I'll read
Man,
Andrew's
you
comment.
got me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I thought you would know. Andrew says, another Starscream G.I. Joe fact, his favorite. There's an unreleased proof of concept animation for a proposed G.I. Joe Transformers animated film. In the movie, Cobra Commander would have put his brain into a Cybertronian body and proclaimed, "My scream will be heard among the stars," becoming that hypothetical continuity's Starscream.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I was once a man.
I'm here for all the G.I. Joe Transformers crossovers. As a matter of fact, in 2007, when the Transformers movie came out, the Bay movie, the first of the Bay movies, which is probably the best of the Bay movies,
Are you Ladies Man 4371?
It was a fun movie, no doubt about it.
I enjoyed it.
Not to get into the Bayverse too deep, but there's a scene where in the desert there's a like elite group of military guys, and I know when I was sitting there, I probably said to you,
He did. He leaned
"That's going
over
to be
and
GI
said,
Joe."
That should be G.I. Joe.
And damn, if they didn't drop the ball with introducing them as G.I. Joe.
It would have been really cool. There was one like Duke-looking guy.
Yeah, Josh Duhamel. Unfortunately, instead, they didn't combine the universes, and they just...
So
Google
Alex
says Wayne is
said,
solid lock.
Yeah, Google
I've
says
never
Wayne
heard
is
that.
solid lock, and I've
never heard
of
of solid lock.
Mark said he believes it was named after one of the design team. No Joe has that name in 82 to 94. Do you feel better?
So much better. So much better.
That's cool. If that was just a shout out to like a random person, that's really cool. That's not random, but like.
Thank you guys for
design
googling
teams.
that. But
Cool.
man, she stumped me, and
I could have googled it, but I enjoyed watching you sweat there for a second. I think
this was a great toy when I was a kid. I mean, I remember playing with it Christmas morning.
this is bigger and more fragile than any toy I ever had.
I would not say fragile.
Really.
Nah.
All these like snappy, like locky, pointy things.
Nope. Nope. I think the most fragile thing about it is sometimes the tail fins, when you click them in, they get very loose. The cockpit...
Anything with
sometimes
tabs,
breaks
I
off. Yeah,
imagine.
tabs, exactly. The most fragile thing about these are the parachutes, because they're just made of thin plastic.
No more parachutes.
So the more you play with the parachute... And they actually disintegrate after a while. Like, if you have it wrapped up with rope...
I'm sure it's that really thin, almost like...
Yeah. I don't want to turn this into just a specific Sky Striker review, which I will do one day, and open a parachute up and show you what it looks like. But yeah, they tend to get brittle, and the paint comes off of, or whatever the paint, or however they printed the parachute, they get very...
It's just that
Because
sort of like...
you have to fold it to fit it in there.
Plasticky...
But they work. Like those
yeah.
parachutes, they're attached to the chair. If you throw your guy into the air...
Are they the same as those like little plastic dollar store
Yes.
parachute style?
Yes.
Just very filmy, flimsy.
I lost so many of these parachutes because you could order, not the Sky Striker ones, but they had a parachute pack that you could order from G.I. Joe. And
Very
I probably
smart.
ordered like 5 a year.
Alex has just posted in the comments a custom that someone did of Lieutenant Wayne Ruthal, so that's cool. We'll take a look at that after the stream.
Oh, he posted it from histank.com, which I got banned from like a decade ago. Got banned in 2009, actually, after the G.I. Joe movie came out.
Is a Navy pilot, went to Rutgers.
Oh.
Go ahead.
So after the G.I. Joe movie
Tell
came
us all
out,
about you getting banned from histank.com.
the movie was terrible. But you weren't allowed to say how terrible the movie was on histank.com. For some reason, there was a bunch of Kool-Aid getting drunk.
Oh, Tiffany has asked if we can see the mini Megatron again.
Sure.
Let's go to camera 2.
How can I put this so you can...
I don't know. Can you just lay it flat here? Put it over here. Just like lay it like flat against like the bottom or something. Let's just see how that looks and spin it around and see. Hold on. I can zoom in a little more. Let's try this here. You guys love my paint hands, I'm sure.
Nobody's worried about your paint hands.
I don't
Yes,
know.
Mark said
How
the
good is that?
parachutes. You know what the parachutes... He's right. The parachutes have the properties of an old school shopping bag. They feel like Walmart bags.
Do you have, I thought that was a piece of regular paper. I was going to stick it on the back of a piece of paper. I'm not sure if that's a good enough. It's really not a very good shot of that.
Let me try and... with my chubby fingers.
And you've dropped it.
It is small. I mean, it's truly 1/18th scale.
It is tiny, but awesome.
He I don't know where all his mass went into his bag of holding.
Yeah, no, you're not even close. Let's try that here. There we go. All right. Yeah. How cool is that thing? That is just too cool. There we go. That's not bad. Again with my paint fingers, guys. How neat is that?
Super cool.
And it's G.I. Joe scale, so that is just too awesome.
Mark should be 3D printing the heck out of those.
Oh gosh. As long as they're not in regular colors, it's totally fine. All right, I'm going to go back to camera 1 if that's cool. Aw. Tiffany said that her significant other Ryan just got home and she's teaching him all about everything she's learned here today.
There will be a quiz.
Yes, we'll be quizzed.
So this is just a short one. There's not much in this
wow.
box. What?
Dave was also kicked off of histank.com for asking why Snake Eyes had lips in the movie and always looked surprised.
That's hilarious. See? I got kicked off for... So the movie was so bad, and then like everybody would rag on it, and the moderators like gave me warnings about ragging on it. So I think the last thing that happened is I posted that it won a Razzie or it was up for a Razzie, and I said, "Oh look, it finally is winning an award."
Yeah, it's an award-winning
and I guess
film
they
now.
just had too much of.
So I think they're very high profile. Histank.com. They're very high profile in the GI Joe collecting
Well, we're
community.
sure plugging them right now.
And they're very high profile, and because of that, they don't want to get in trouble and not be allowed to do stuff. You know, like a lot of these like fan things end up getting shut down or sued into oblivion. So if they keep Hasbro in their good graces, then they're allowed to stay going.
A privately owned website is allowed to, what's the word?
What exactly?
Censor. It's patrons.
It's true. You got kicked off of a private. It's like being kicked out of someone's house.
Yeah, I could say, listen, you have to listen to what I have to say, but no, it's privately owned.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Let's get into a whole conversation about that.
But again, I think that the reason that they were not open about that kind of opinion is because they were being looked at so hard by Hasbro to make sure that they stayed in their little...
I guess, man, but you know,
why
you can only
else?
drink so much Kool-Aid.
Why else would you care whether people like the movie or not if you weren't being like, you know...
Well, there's also the
yes,
we're
exactly,
going to go off
Mark.
on a tangent here.
They do not want grief from Hasbro.
There's also a tangent here that it depends on what kind of poster you are. There are people that only post negative things, which really is a draw on, you know, a board or a forum.
Andrew wishes badly that he was here. Andrew, we also wish that you were here. We miss you terribly.
Andrew wishes he was here because we could just sit and talk about all this.
We miss everybody,
This
not
is a
just Andrew. We miss
human
everybody.
version of Hot Rod. I don't know. I've never seen the episode. I'm not sure why it exists.
That's kind of awesome. Does he have?
And this is RC. So if they were to mate,
yeah, I was just gonna ask you about that kind of thing.
would they have robo babies?
Are they humans? How does that? What is the? Let me read the back
Well,
of this here.
we're not. This is not today's review.
Rodimus Prime.
Yeah. Oh, so he's not okay. So he's Rodimus, not Hot Rod. Okay.
It does not mention anything. Rodimus has returned to his duties as an Autobot leader, but continues to wonder how life would have been different had he remained only human. Hold on.
Human.
Young, brash, and irresponsible, Hot Rod lived life to the fullest until being chosen by the Autobot matrix of leadership to succeed Optimus Prime. This has since filled him with a sense of responsibility that he attempts to embrace, but for which he feels he is not ready. The accelerated maturing process initiated by the Matrix has left Rodimus Prime feeling pulled in two directions.
Wait a second.
On the one hand, he has accepted and embraced the responsibilities of leadership, while on the other, he yearns for his more carefree days as Hot Rod. During the short time his spark was incorporated into synthoid plasma by the criminals Victor, Drath, and Old Snake, TM.
Oh, that's the Old Snake episode.
His sense of self became even more confused. Rodimus's actions in situations requiring physical conflict resembled the uncontrolled actions of his younger self. He seemed to forget his physical limitations as a replicated human when charging into conflict, leading him to being easily beaten on several occasions. Upon returning to his Cybertronian body, Rodimus has returned to his duties as the Autobot leader, but continues to wonder how life would have been different had he remained only human.
Alright, so, obviously, the only episode of the cartoon I could think of, it's a Transformers cartoon that we're talking about here, that had a G.I. Joe crossover, and I haven't seen it in 25 years, but I know Cobra Commander was in it as Camera 2.
There you go.
Old Snake.
You gotta pull it back some.
That is Cobra Commander.
There you go. That's a little better.
Okay. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm just trying to make it so you can actually see the whole thing.
You don't need to see the top. I'm just trying to show Cobra Commander.
Alright, there you go.
With two
bats.
Two, like...
Are they bats?
Yeah, they're bats, but they transform into like drones.
Ah. Cool.
But that's Old Snake. This is a highly sought after set. And that is the
figure
crossover
is
from the
absolutely
cartoon.
Beautiful, guys. Check him out. Can you guys see
You
all
don't
the
even
detail
want to
there?
know what that's going for on eBay.
I don't.
Andrew, I did not remember that was the plot of that episode.
How cool.
I
Look
just
at his
remember
outfit.
Old Snake.
So I'm looking at this right here. I can tell that the lower half of his torso is from a Resolute. It looks like Resolute
Cobra Commander?
Cobra Commander, like that little kind of skirt thing. Cool.
So Hot Rod and Springer and RC's consciousness. Right. I didn't remember that was the same episode. I wonder if they did a Springer. I don't think they did Springer. I think they only did Hot Rod and RC. Or Rodimus, as they call him. So anyway, this is from the club. Like, these are club Well, let's get into them. Let's extend this. I'm not going to do a separate club review anyway. So these 3 are from that episode.
You don't want to lose this guy's knife or gun here.
And the club made these. So this was...
I was once a man.
I think it wasn't the G.I. Joe Club. It was actually the Transformers Club. And not a lot of people got them, camera 2, because not every Transformers guy likes G.I. Joe, and not every G.I. Joe collector, I say collector, likes Transformers.
Weird.
But this was right up my alley. I love the crossover stuff.
How cool are those?
So this is, obviously the female in pink is RC. Hot Rod is in the bright orange.
So
or
I
Rodimus Prime.
like that they gave her this horrific hairdo to mimic like her head sculpt of the actual Transformer. That's cool. I don't know if you can see, but she's got these weird like side puffs on her hair there. It's weird.
And it's cool. I mean, these are very obviously G.I. Joe looking cards.
Springer was never produced, said Mark.
Very G.I. Joe looking cards, but obviously it's just Transformers.
Wow, look at that.
And in the modern era, that's how G.I. Joes looked on their cards. Even with a foul card in the back. She even has a foul card. So this is a Transformer toy, but G.I. Joe in
that art is awesome.
In design, no doubt about it. It is, the 3 3/4 or 1/18 scale, 4-inch, on the same kind of cards, with file cards. I mean,
product does not convert. Thanks. I was really thinking.
I should have bought multiples. Yeah, I love that they got to tell you that it doesn't transform. I should have bought multiples of these so I can open them. The reason I have all these, the reason I have all this stuff is someday I'm going to do a gigantic 1/18 scale diorama, and all this stuff will be in it.
Snake. So you're gonna pop open all the stuff to stick it in a diorama.
Yep. Oh yeah, I didn't buy this to hoard.
You guys can't tell, but I'm glaring at him back here.
As it being worth money. This is all going to be. My dream one day isn't to own a toy store. My dream one day is to have a gigantic diorama, and hopefully people come to pay to see it in some warehouse.
If you build it, they will come.
And all this G.I. Joe Transformer crossover stuff will be in my ultimate diorama, as well as 1/18 scale Marvel DC. I want to do a gigantic warehouse sized.
Now, where's the My Little Pony going to fit in?
Over in Ponyville.
Ponyville?
Yeah. Over onto the left-hand side, we'll do mountains and like a waterfall.
Okay, yeah.
And the pony castle.
See, he got it.
Oh, listen, I want all toy lines to be represented.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the museum idea.
Yeah.
So, all right, we talked about this is Collectors Club stuff, Transformers Collectors Club.
Let's turn that around so they can see it on camera.
I guess we'll talk about this one too.
Camera 1, camera 2.
Another crossover.
Dang, they look beautiful.
Is this Ninja Force? I bought it just because it says G.I. Joe on it. I didn't even know the backstory with it. Here, I'll do camera 1 with
that. Camera 1 with this bad boy.
That is a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. Ninja Force, which is... Ninja Force originally was like 93, 94...
Definitely 90s, you can
I want to
tell.
say 92, 93...
Everything was ninjas in the 90s.
Yeah, it's when even the comic book was like Snake Eyes and G.I. Joe. It was very Ninja Force, very colorful.
Yeah.
I don't know the relevance, and I shouldn't be doing a review not knowing relevance. But I wasn't going to talk about this today anyway. You guys forced me into it. I don't know the relevance of the Ninja Force Transformers crossover. If anybody could speak on that.
I'm sure Andrew could.
The Arcaras are in our comments. Oh, they must not be together.
They must not be together. The Arcaras must be separated because he misses his wife. That's so cute.
Being loving.
Mark and Dina are so cute, you guys.
I wonder if he loves her more than cheese.
So, my husband told me last night that he loves me more than he loves cheese. And I don't think anyone has ever said anything so sweet to me in my entire life. But then he immediately said, wait, I don't mean fried cheese. So that kind of, I had to back it out a little bit.
Yeah. So, in this set, we have Scarlet. Who is this?
It's Dr. Sidney Biggles-Jones.
I recognize that name.
Biggles-Jones. I definitely recognize Biggles-Jones.
And Cobra Commander.
Tara said the box art looks great. Yeah, Tara, I don't know how much of a G.I. Joe fan you are. I'm not super into it.
Guys.
But I really appreciate all of the art from all of the Joe stuff. It's absolutely beautiful.
It opens like a book.
Take a look.
So you have 3 figures.
In a book. Is that Rat Bat?
Probably.
I believe Andrew said that it's Rat Bat. Wow, she looks like Jubilee on the top. Dr. Sydney Biggles-Jones. She has like this super cool long jacket.
So what we have, it looks like Blaster. Really interesting version of Ravage. Looks like the same mold they used later on for that Ravage you love that comes with Baroness.
I thought he was much smaller.
No, it's about that size.
Huh.
Yes, Rat Bat.
And do you want to stick that on camera too so they can see it a little bit up close?
Might be too big for camera too.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. That ain't bad.
There you go. Are you zoomed in? You can pull back a little bit, maybe.
I'm good. All right, you guys can see there on the bottom, and then...
I just love the modern versions of these toys.
So cool.
That's obviously Ninja Force Scarlet. I recognize that.
I can't get it back on.
I don't think they've ever done a toy of Bigglesworth Jones.
Yeah, who is Biggles-Jones?
I wish Andrew were here to keep this conversation going.
I wish anyone was here. Like, I love Andrew, but I wish like humans were here.
Yeah, well, we're living in a non-human time.
So I can't get into the top at all.
All right.
There you go. I'm gonna put that back on camera one. There we go.
All right. So, this is the beginning of us talking about Transformers G.I. Joe crossovers.
Mark said in the Marvel Comics story, she was responsible for converting the Transformers to Gen 2, including Megatron's tank form. Biggles-Jones.
I didn't know there was a
Dr. Biggles-Jones
where
let's read her file card.
Canon.
You know what?
That G1 and G2 had an in-canon changeover.
She's also from New Jersey.
Yeah, well.
She's from Ridgewood.
Cool.
That's interesting.
The G.I. Joe pit's in New Jersey.
Dr. Sydney Biggles-Jones earned her first PhD in physics from MIT, followed shortly by a second PhD in electrical engineering from Caltech. Sought by the government for employment, she opted to accept corporate funding to work on an undisclosed project at a research facility in New Jersey. She published multiple breakthrough articles in hypervelocity propulsion technology, which drew the attention of Cobra Commander. He saw the potential to modify the technology in an electromagnetic cannon known as a railgun. With his plan in place, he sends night creepers to retrieve the gifted scientist.
Wow, I gotta reread these books. So, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and Scarlet...
Now that I think about it, G.I. Joe and Transformers cross over in the main G.I. Joe in the late issues. Because there's Devastator on one of the covers. I totally forgot about that.
Of the show,
so that's what this is based on. No, not the show.
Mark said Scarlet went undercover as a traitor and joined Cobra. George said, "No time for love, Dr. Biggles."
So I forgot because I never even read those last 15 G.I. Joe issues. I have them, but now thinking about it, there's a lot of G.I. Joe Transformer crossovers. So it's not just about the miniseries. There are in the main G.I. Joe series crossovers as well.
Cool.
And that's probably what this is totally based on.
No time for love, Dr. Biggles.
So I like to keep these under an hour. We will talk about the other 3 sets. As well as some comics, probably?
Yes, we are. I, however, am going to keep Justin from going on a stream here. And next week, I think I might do some My Little Pony. I'm going to do something next Wednesday.
No promises.
No promises as to what, but I'm going to do something.
Yeah, we're still in the process of moving and stuff. So,
so
our personal stuff, which this is in a state of flux.
I wanted to pack all of my ponies and just bring over some of the coolest stuff here.
Mark told me not to read those later issues because they're not great.
There's a reason you've never read them.
Yeah. Well, I was, I was not the right age when when 155 was in the 90s at some point. I was way beyond G.I. Joe at that point. But listen, as a Nostalgineer, I need to go read those so I have all the information.
TM, registered trademark.
But that's why we keep you guys here, is for all this great input and
speaking of great input,
going back and forth.
All of the comments that we've read today on the stream are coming from our VIPs. If you would like to become a Farpoint VIP, please follow this link, patreon.com/FarpointToys right above. You can become a Farpoint VIP, get access to our VIP group and streams just like this one where you can interact with us live. Access to free claim sales. I call it a claim sale because still it's not a sale, but it's free. Once a month we do those. Merch, exclusive merch every other month. There's all kinds of cool stuff, so please check out our Patreon. Even if you don't subscribe, at least take a look at it.
Please subscribe to the channel here.
Yes.
Give us a like. If you have anything to add or any comments, please comment. And I don't know.
I think that's it. We're signing off for tonight. See you again next week for hopefully some sort of, and we're getting requests, please Penelope, something for the ladies. Dina and the ladies. I'll try to pull some magic
Something
out
for
of
the
my
ladies.
hat. See, my problem is that I don't know.
Dude.
First
RC,
of all,
Scarlet.
Transformers and G.I. Joes are also for ladies. Thank you. Secondly, I don't know exactly how. Justin last week just kind of focused a little bit bigger on a, like a giant, huge play set. This week it was just like a single thing, kind of expanding a little bit on some of the other stuff you had here. I don't know what I want to talk about. Do I want to talk about a single My Little Pony? Do I want to talk about? I don't know what I want to talk about.
Maybe we'll figure it out.
Tell me in the comments what you want to hear me talk about. Please. I have an extensive My Little Pony. I have an extensive My Little Pony collection. We have a pretty great She-Ra collection. I don't know. Tell me what you guys. Do you want me to just talk about all my ponies? Do you want me to only talk about a few?
Well, there's
one piece, couple pieces.
She-Ra, for instance, I don't want to do She-Ra until collection is complete.
It's close, but it's not 100%. We can talk about the
complete collection. My Little Pony is so vast that we don't need to talk about a complete collection. You could do something like
I could bring Paradise Estate out and slap it on the table.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you for watching.
Yes, we will see you.
We're going to do this every Wednesday live. And then we'll be
live for our VIP folks from Patreon.
And then we'll be uploading Wednesday evening. And
yeah.
You want to say it, or do I get to say it?
Say what?
What you said last time.
What did I say last time?
Thanks for watching from Retro to Right Now.